Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Free Enterprise friendos, and welcome to this awesome 3-0 matchup between Kohrek and Starman. I'm one of your commentators, Oscar424, and with me is the fantastic king of vanilla himself, Dathus. Dathus, how you doing today?
Him. I'm doing positively fantastic.
I regret everything right now.
Everyone usually does when they commentate with me. Thank you very much, Oscar.
I actually made this mistake in putting this group together.
Look, you made your bed. You lay in it now. Yeah, nice. Always great to be commentating. As you said, we got the 3-0 match. I'm really excited for this because both these guys are hitting tables, so nothing quite on the line. But let's see. I want to see some crazy strats come out here. I want to see dives you wouldn't do, just like flex a little bit here and there. And with the telestart, there's a fair bit of loot flexing to be done too.
Right, I'm definitely looking at that water pass to use our favorite exit bot, Tella. I'm also really curious about these cool little objectives we got here going from our.
I think more than myself as well, since I haven't run anything recently. But yeah, we got defeat the Dark Knights. We have one boss hunt and we have one character hunt. Your favorite boy is in the seed. We will find him.
Now I just have to hope for a best boy spoonword. It is the dream, and my apologies to headphone users if we get a spoonword this seed. But otherwise, we do have our standard 3 in addition to that, completing Cave Magnus and getting some music, forging with the Legend Sword and Adamant, and then trading away the Pigtail. So all in all, this could be very interesting with a boss and a character. Giant required the dream is on the table, so hopefully that happens.
This is very true. Yeah, with both a boss and a character, the odds of a giant hard required goes up exponentially. Now, if we have a character, a boss, and a cheeky Demus there as well, we could have a super hard required giant, which would be very entertaining. I haven't seen it much so far, these flags, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. Though the telestart, seeing who he's paired with, this is going to really gate on how the early game is going to go. We get something like a Sid or a Kane, it's going to be really good. If we get that Dark Knight Cecil with him, it's going to be very medium power. If we get your favorite girl, Rydia, she's going to be it's going to be a little hard to start with the two of them. But it's really interesting.
It's hard to start with just one character, really. Just saying.
Look, I've seen them give out Leviathan start with Iridia, and then there's how you go the overworld with you don't need Quake because we have water instead. But yeah, it's the real joy here is this is the utility that Tele gives us. This is we're gonna rush ordeals kind of as quickly as possible because you get every one of his spells aside from I think Nuke in the game on him. But yeah, we're off and we have ourselves Sid.
So Dathus Switch is going on here, mentioning Sid, mentioning a Leviathan summon. That's interesting. But yeah, that's Sid. That's actually Sid with the Dwarf Axe, which you get in your initial kit. That's huge. I mean, I've heard from so many people that are significantly better at this game than I am that early game Sid in this flag set, you're good. 100% good. So we might see some fights being taken pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely. You got a couple of good reasons behind it. The Dwarf Axe and the Strength Ring, you got all the power you're going to need right there. You can swap weapons out in battle so you don't lose the agility, but you gain all that strength. And the fact that he comes with the highest HP at the second highest level start of any character you can get off the bat or near the bat, you really can't go wrong with what you've got there. Nice thing is we also have some big divergence in looting I haven't really seen on Starman's side, going right to Troya Castle.
I mean, you could definitely get some interesting items from the public treasuries. So, that being said, Kohrek has picked up a lightsaber. We do have Jedi % active if we find a Cecil. And as a point of note, before we get started a little bit too much, our wonderful restreamer Moonblaze Wolf has mentioned that the last seed that he rolled had a mandatory giant. So I'm excited.
Oh, very much so. I'm also really excited for the loot that's in this watery pass. Like we have lightsabers, there's a white spear, there's a poison axe. You don't need that dwarf axe anymore. You got a poison axe for that Sid going right there. Ribbon. Like that watery pass may be like the most loaded I have seen in a hot minute.
Kohrek, I didn't even bother with the rest of the watery pass, got what he needed, and just left. But he is giving us a really quick check of the bed, and we have a Palom. So Quack Kid is in the seed, and it should be mentioned that of all of our characters, we have two that are taking a vacation today. We won't know who it is until we find out the rest of them. So we will have 3 duplicates, though. Maybe we'll have multiple Quack Kids. Maybe we'll have 4 Tellas in this seed, or like 3 Eddies. That'd be cool too.
Hey, we could have 3 Eddies. That is very possible, and I know you'd appreciate it. But what do you do once you get the them sharing that that spoon? Who's going to be doing the DPS? Like, how are you gonna handle
the
it?
best palette, because that's how I roll.
No, that is actually agreed. If it's not the best palette, then here we go. But that's an objective thing or subjective thing. Always start looking for some objectives with Starman going up Mount Hobbs to see maybe we can find ourselves that early Edward you're looking for.
Right now, this is a boss check and a character check, so it's very unsurprising that he's going to be heading there.
And there is the very distinct possibility that this could have both up here too. It's I am here on the commentary, so jet seeds and vanilla are very much things that can happen. So we're gonna see what we've got. We have Iridia and a blue robe.
See, it is
No lag. Yep. But yeah, with this Rydia and with some of the things mentioned in chat by Bardic Knowledge, there's been a Sylph and there's been a Leviathan. Normally it's like, oh, Rydia, you just go down and you don't get experience or anything. No, you keep this kid up. She's going to be doing a bit of heavy lifting in this early seed. Like, we have Sid who can help with that, but Rydia is just on a completely different level.
I'm not sure what level she has to get to have enough MP to cast Leviathan, but yeah, as much as it pains
10?
me to admit this, 10, 20,
10, 15, something like that.
You know, it's either way. It's as soon as Leviathan's online. I mean, these overworld checks are just going to go by so quickly. And as Antiel's pointed out, yeah, she'll be casting that Sog Champ the moment we're done here.
Speaking of, all the levels for her that she's going to get it, will not get access to Warp just yet, as great of a spell as it is. But we do also see both runners clearing that fight really easily, getting some Artemis arrows, which are great for Sid, also doing the big loot in the back of Hobbs. This is probably one of my favorite spots on one of the Ish or the Pro Seed styles, because this has a higher tier of loot, because it's kind of rarely seen. Get another Odin, get a Diamond Ring, it's a fair bit of money there still.
And plus, since we do have radio, we have access to another free summon on the other side of Hobbs. So I'm curious to see if our runners will immediately head over there. And, Kohrek is saying no, Leviathan is good enough. They are both saying no. That is, well, I mean, with Leviathan, it is Leviathan.
True, and the only summons you can really get from there, the highest tier you could get would be to get Sylph for free there. Maybe even Asura. Oh, hey, look, we got our dab.
Is this even? We've pandered to the king of Vanilla, Dathus. All right, now let's see Vanilla Demas, just for added cheekiness.
And we can't see a vanilla antline. Oh, so the Asura summon that Kohrek find. That was the other one I was going to mention. It's you get Sylph and you get access to an early Asura, so you have good healing in the mid to late game with Asura if you keep rolling the 2 out of 3 that are great. In theory, a Titan would also be really good there, because Titan just kind of handles everything aside from Mylon Z and some other fights. Like, there's some here and there where it's not the greatest, but finding that Asura, Rydia has the main 3 spells she needs.
Plus, as we're going to find out from Kohrek who they're fighting in Antlion Cave, and it is a Mylon of some particular flavor. Mylon and friends. Starman actually picked up a crystal armor from Damsian. Now, what's interesting is that is pretty much printed money, the chess piece. which is super beneficial in this flag set because it is S quarter. So normally you only get to sell things for half their value. Well, S quarter makes it even worse. You only get 25% of what it's worth. So being able to sell some big ticket items and fun things like, oh, I don't know, if our runners find sirens at some point, that's going to be huge in the wallet.
Absolutely. And the nicest thing is that is a whole lot of money. But there is the fact that if we say find Mylon Z or another rude boss like that in a very punchy spot, it does have that undead resist. And if we do find a Cecil, that means that he's going to be taking no damage whatsoever from that. So that is another little bonus just for having it. But usually it's just great money. Ooh.
Well, today is not the day to fade Antlion. We have one half of our forge with the Legend Sword, so that's gonna be a very nice find for actually Kohrek and Starman as soon as he finishes his Mylon and friends.
Absolutely. That's a great first key item to find because we got nothing from our starter. Don't know what we got elsewhere, but for a first early area, nothing really bad. And oh, Starman looting a little heavier, finds this early cheeky siren. That can be used when they pop underground, get themselves a good amount of levels, get Rydia up a little more MP for casting more summons once we hit underground. Or it could be popped on top of ordeals.
Yeah, that the top of ordeals siren check is something that I found out about pretty recently in my free enterprise career, where if you have a party that desperately needs levels and you can't go underground, top of ordeals will get you, I believe, the 2 Lamias, which are, you can't do life glitches on them, but they give a good amount of XP pretty quickly. So it's a nice little cheeky check. But on the other side of things, we have Kohrek fighting our King of Lightning himself, Odin.
Yeah, this is a spot you don't mind seeing him. He's only got about 1,000-ish HP, so getting him out of the way. So unfortunately, we won't see the slice herd around the world. But this is still a nice spot. Get him done, get him in and out, and quick bunch of EXP. Whereas we see Starman on the other side doing what he does, bringing stars from the sky and dropping down Mylon and friends in one hit. Very quick work. 2 quick key item checks from both these runners. Kohrek getting us new ground, though.
Speaking of Stardust, I believe Starman had a Stardust item. Well, Kohrek said, you know what? Anything you can find, I can find better. Enjoy the best Black Mage weapon in the game with the Stardust Rod.
And that just makes Rydia even more viable and like more beneficial to have on the team right now. I mean, yes, Tella can still do it, and he'd be okay, but Tella has more important jobs to do. Look, I know, Asuka. I know. Don't blame me. Blame Moonblaze. He's the one who made this.
Now, my question when it comes to Rydia, her probably biggest drawback is the fact that it takes her a very long time to get levels or to get spells, particularly nuke. In this flag set without the slingshot, and you already have the early Rydia, is there going to come a point in time where Rydia just isn't cutting it anymore, even though she's got Leviathan?
It really is going to depend. So if you can keep Rydia up through like every single fight where she's getting XP, where she's keeping like toe to toe with everyone, she is going to be worth it because she's getting XP basically from the start of the seed. So she's getting a whole large amount of it. So she can keep up. However, she does have a place where she does get replaced. If you see more fighters on the team or anything else, she will get outpaced, especially if you see like double Moss Immune Edge, or if you see 3 Cecils and we get 3 Crystal Swords, then Rydia, that's where she loses a lot of her value. But it also is going to depend on if we can find Avengers, if we can find Bacchus Wines, if you can find White Mages to go along that line. It's a whole bunch of factors. It's not just, cut and dry kind of thing, right? Rydia is still really good, especially if you find a Bahamut.
Oh yeah, that'd be the true Rydia starter pack with Leviathan and Bahamut. Oh, that is terrifying to find early.
Exactly.
Just everybody goes blarg all over the place and call it a day.
Indeed. Starman getting to that fight, gets his own Stardust Rod. We're going to see where they're going to be heading off to next. It's very interesting. Again, the overworld is a lot of different areas. You've got ordeals you want to go to. You still got the boss checks you want to look at, specifically Mist Cave, because we haven't seen there. Could also find a cheeky Demas sitting at the Tower of Zot. That's still a possibility. We also have Baron Inn that we haven't seen. So there's a few checks left. We're still looking for underground access, though.
And it looks like Starman has chosen to take on Ordeals, which makes sense. Well, it's 3 boss fights, 1 key item, but that does put that Tella online. The only way Tella's going to learn any other spells than the ones he already has is by completing this 3-step boss fight. So we, on the bright side, we do get to see. I mean, the thing is with Mount Ordeals, it can be very straightforward and easy, or it could be brutal, particularly in the back attack spot. So that the Bridge 2 fight, there are some very rude bosses that, yeah, we have a Stardust Viridia. If it's like a Val or something, Val's just gonna laugh at you. So we'll get to see. And the first boss is, it is a guard of some kind.
Oh, Baron, yeah, Baron or Kaipo, either way. Fairly free fight. If it is the Kaipo guards, then it's even freer. Baron guards, not so bad. We can throw a toad from Rydia on them, or she can just say, hey, Leviathan, watch these guys off the mountain for me, please.
Pretty much. Yeah, this is going to be probably, barring certain cheeky Bridge 2 fights, this is going to be straight Leviathan, Leviathan, Leviathan. Call it a day. Gets
Leviathan, Leviathan, bum, bum.
Speaking of Kohrek, we have found our Dark Knight Cecil. That is not the boss, but we have also found a Magma Key. We don't know who the bosses are, unfortunately. We'll hopefully get to see that on Starman's screen, but 13 minutes in, we do have underground access, and it is the quick route.
That is going to be very good for the runners. And with both the Cecil there as well, it's going to be giving that big run to, hey, let's go up Ordeals. Oh, and a Soma drop for the old man if you want to give him some more MP. But yeah, huge shoutouts to Moonblaze Wolf so that we can get this, showing the seed off and getting Kohrek back up as quick as possible.
But yeah, so Battle of the Summons is going on Starman's side. Turns out Leviathan is more powerful than the King of Dragons. But Ooh,
we have a Demus somewhere in Baron Inn.
And oh wow, hey, so Demus.
How do you like getting an? How do you like having an Excal Cecil the second you go underground? I am super here for this.
So that is okay. If you're Kohrek and you have the Magma Key, do you do Ordeals first, or do you go and get your freebies all set up underground? Sheila 1, the freebie and Fey March. You do your forge, and then you go to Ordeals.
That's a very tough question because we're about to see here. That's the hook that might. So that's not going to lure Starman away, I think, from Baron Castle or Baron Inn, because a lot of people see hook routes, they go no. But we could have our character and fight back there too.
That can be a dangerous hook for sure. But
exactly, that hook could be everything we need in this seed. But to answer your question directly, I think it would be Ordeals and then head down underground, because that way you can go get everything done up here, go underground, get forge, go get your freebies, go do Sheila 1, and then just start working like that, because you get access to everything, and you want to try and keep your HP up high. You've already done the wool, so you're not going to get that free heal from there. So it's kind of like working HP value wise would be better than anything else.
Gotcha. But yeah, just looking at this matchup, it's a pretty straightforward free Ordeal, so it'll be pretty fast. But yeah, I'm curious if Starman goes the hook just for the character alone, or clearly he has not gone into Baron Inn, and there is a lot of value in Baron Inn today. So
absolutely.
And it's kind of funny. I know we mentioned it before the race started, that there are some people, myself included, that have tended to fade Baron Inn on occasion, even though it's 2 bosses and a character. If Starman decides today's day they fade Baron Inn, ooh, that's going to be painful.
Exactly. You aren't wrong though for checking this hook route, because again, even if it just one character is right there, it's not 100% sure. Like one character being there, like say that's where our only Edward is, you get that, you can then leave, because like, okay, if the boss here is Dark Knight, you can just kind of like avoid it. You've got half of what you need. But yeah, see, we literally get to see where Demus is right here, chilling with Cecil. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what the second fight is.
I mean, with the characters in the party involved, well, I mean, Leviathan's Leviathan, so it's tough to say, oh yeah, it's an easy one or whatnot, because Leviathan's just gonna go bleh on everything and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and especially if there's a mage type enemy back here, which the only one we would see now would be Asura, it's going to be nothing to scoff at or nothing to even really think about because those wind rings. Oh, hello, Orb. So long, and short circuit from the Leviathan.
That's gonna be a quick matchup right here, and again, hopefully Starman does remember to check your Demus, because remember, everyone check your freebies, check your objectives, and there have been far too many people that haven't checked a Demus and got some or missed out on something real good. In this case, your Forge.
And another thing, always save early, save often. Did you save? Save again.
I will save 3-4 times because just in case, for no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely. Always make sure you get that. But I didn't even realize that it was the Battle of the Snakes up on the top of Ordeals. So we have Ogopogo going to be washed away by Leviathan real soon here. Starman picking up Cecil, picking up the Magma Key, also has the hook. This is going to be really interesting to see what the underground routing is going to be, because this is where it gets super wide open and you have a lot of power to do a lot of different things at once.
Like alluded to before, you've got your free Fey March chest, you've got Sheila 1 set up if you want. Dwarf Castle's been a pretty commonly checked area, and 2 bosses, character, and key item. There's a lot of condensed checking right there. And it's a pretty tame spot, depending on, of course, who's in Fey March. But yeah, there's so many different options. And it looks like Starman is actually going to be checking the character on the hook route. I kind of like this play because this is I believe, a gated character. So you might see an edge or a foo, or an edge or a foo, or a foo. Please be a foo, because that'd be fun.
I don't know.
Right.
Let's get ourselves another Rydia. We need more murder children.
Okay, then get a Palom. I know we literally have a Palom at home. I know this. But why not second Palom?
This shop, though, definitely going up towards more the bruisers, because we got hourglasses and we got Bacchus wines here. Very nice to see in this shop. So we haven't seen our sirens if they are available, meaning that they are not going to be locked in this area, which is a good and a bad thing. Good because that means the runners can find them somewhere else. Bad things because I want the runners to come back here if they want their sirens, because they're broke right now.
Agreed. And of course, Santel has mentioned in chat, we could find our bard here. Now, if Edward is on the hook route and say Starman checks it and Kohrek doesn't, that could be interesting. If there's no other bard in this seed, that would make a very free objective a really, really cheeky one, which I'm always here for the cheeky and the rude, because I'm a restreamer. I don't run these races.
Absolutely. We're here up on the booth. All we want is rudeness. We wish the runners nothing but the greatness of the runs, but in the same token, we want to see some suffering on Restream. But the nice thing that we see through, hey, look, your boy!
It's Best Boy!
Being lit on fire.
Hey! No!
That's about what he deserves.
Sad bird noises.
Look,
he's objective.
We do have objective 4 getting for Starman, and Kohrek right hot in his heels. Yeah, this is why you always check your freebies. Freebie characters, great to see. I would honestly, seeing this Edward here, I would be very, very tempted to at least drop your save here, go see if that King Queen Evelyn is not Dark Knight, because that means that you're only looking for one single key item at that point. You're either then looking for the harp or you're looking for the pink tail. So this could be very cheeky and put one of them in a very commanding position.
Yeah, because I know with the Ruby spot, you can actually see who that boss is, but you can't really see who King Queen is unless you literally go up to the King Queen spot and say, "Hello, I'm here. Hi." That Starman back now, that could be kind of interesting. He is doing a quick cheeky check in Demist, and yeah, Dr. Dialogue can talk to himself all he wants in the cave. We'll just let him play in the sauna.
He's just like, look at me, I have all these great things in here. Hello, guys? Where'd they disappear off to?
And then Balnut is like, all right, I'm done. Bonk! But thankfully, Starman has checked their Demist, has gotten the Adamant. So they're getting the really good news that, yeah, I have a lightsaber, but now I have a better lightsaber coming for me.
Yeah, Excalibur, one of the best weapons in the game. And with the fact that we have Demist out of the pool, the only other boss that that weapon gives a quote trouble to is going to be Pale Dim. So there's a lot of bosses that are just going to be. It's not quite as burr as Crystal Sword, but I mean, it's still going to be putting a huge. It's going to be cutting a swath through this seed very easily.
And what's interesting is I don't know if Starman picked it up, but Kohrek actually picked up a tiara heading through the Eblin Caves. So that's going to be a fantastic armor piece for Rydia as she's sleeping on the floor.
They both found it, yeah. So thankfully, both of them have it. And with Rydia now at low HP, Cecil covering, hopefully going to get this taken care of. And yeah, that poison axe, the giant killer, gets you the good quick kill on this. No life glitch because the XP here is very medium. The only thing you're really hoping for from here would be Bahamut or a Crystal Sword, kind of specifically knowing this squad right here.
So, and to answer a question or comment in chat, PETA, yes, the King of Vanilla, I was about to say the King of Dathis, Vanilla, is here. There was not Vanilla in D-Mist, but there was Vanilla in the Waterfall. And Legend came out of Antlion.
Yeah, so I've been satisfied for now, but give me about 5-10 minutes and I'll be hankering for another scoop of vanilla somewhere here or there. Yeah, and
I'm not. There's no other and. It's just, ooh, hi. So that is a nice shop.
That is in fact a spicy little shop there. We got power shirts, we've got apples, which you could feed to that Edward, give him enough HP if we find that spoon.
We got ribbons and then a defense sword. So if we have a cane, that's whew, and they're gold apples to boot. So that is a great shop right there.
Absolutely. So if we can find the money to bankroll all of this, like we get to the end of the seed and like, you know what, we found ourselves a spoon, we found this, we found, say, another Excal or something to sell, we found no other Cecils. There's a lot of money that is still potentially in this seed.
Bardic knowledge in chat, yes, for the Swiss flags, you can in fact have a spoony bard. Unfortunately, the spoon is too powerful in Swiss flags. There you can equip the spoon. In the bracket flags, spoon is too powerful, so they took it away from Best Boy, which I find to be a travesty.
Hey, look, they have to try and find a way to nerf the Best Boy somehow. I will agree. So Edward is honestly arguably the best character in Free Enterprise for multiple different reasons. So a lot of them are very strategic, though. They require a lot of things that you have to get some practice in. Eddie strats on Zeromas for one, which I blatantly refuse to learn. And there's also the fact that he is very cheeky against bosses that have set scripts, such as Odin, such as Evil Wall, such as even Dark Knight Cecil, who we have in the seed. If you can get Edward hidden really quick, even if DKC is doing 1,000 damage to everyone, he's hidden. He's not going to take any damage whatsoever. And Cecil's just like, oh, well, okay, I'm out of here then. And you get a free boss fight.
A Cecil with an Excal, a ninja hat, a power shirt, and a strength ring. Okay, Cecil.
Can I have a Zeus gauntlet instead?
We have a ninja shirt or ninja hat and a power shirt, and you're complaining that there's no Zeus gauntlet. I can understand that though.
It could be better.
Spoon first. Cecil's got enough toys to play with.
No, he doesn't. Give him a crystal sword while we're at it.
Oh, like a true titan.
Absolutely. And to answer a question in chat, is Cecil confused? No. We're just putting down Sid so he doesn't get any bonus experience. I don't believe we found a cursed ring yet, so we don't want to get his agility going too high. Even though his agility is a little like slow growth, you kind of want to keep that as low as possible because we don't have a lot of great agility manipulation items right now. All we have is the ninja hat, which is great in and of itself. Yeah, Starman cracks that egg and then is immediately heading to the Dwarf Castle. Love this play and super agree. This is now where we start just checking everything on the underground.
What I kind of find interesting, but also at the same time I don't, is during that Siren grind, Edward stayed up, which, given that Starman's going to Dwarf Castle, is telling me that Unfortunately, the Spoony Bard is, or the Bard, because he doesn't have a spoon yet, is not long for this team, sadly enough, because you can get a character after this, but first, Starman does have to get through a lunar sparkle of some kind and another hidden boss.
I'm going to call that this is going to be Plague here, even though we would love to see Wyvern.
I want Wyvern. Watch, it's going to be like Demist or something.
D-Lunars would be interesting, but Cecil would make very short
I hate Plague. I hate Plague. I hate it.
Bloop,
Go away.
bloop, 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 bloop.
I kid you not. I know Plague is easily cheesable and easily beaten, but I have such a hard time with Plague. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
In the wrong spots and without the right kind of combination, or if you're not fully prepared for it or have an ability to take out your own characters, Plague can be extremely rude. Like, this is a spot where you've got Cecil going to be Berserk, so his counter's never going to hit 0. You've got Rydia going to be slinging spells. You've got Tello who's going to be throwing out and jamming the Q, so it's not going to be bad. Yeah, 2 swipes and he's done with a Leviathan summon. Quick and easy. But he has a lot of spots where he can just be extremely rude if you're not set up, or if your party just can't handle it.
And when do I ever roll nice seeds for myself? Real time. Oh, a double sparkle. All right.
Are we going to get the rude Wyvern right after?
Oh, no. Well,
we can both be right. Oh, hey, look, vanilla.
Ooh. Oh, all right. Get your vanilla out in chat. Speaking of bosses that totally don't mind a light weapon.
Actually, no, this one does mind the light weapon. So Pale Dim is resistant to every single element. Is going to be taking half damage from it, which still 2,000 a swing. Yeah, there's nothing to scoff at. It's still a beefy shot, but it could be better.
What I'm finding really, really interesting now, and I'm enjoying, is the fact that Edward is still in the party. Starman said no to Kane. Now, a base level Rydia is probably the most fantastic anchor you can have, as long as she stays asleep on the floor, just in terms of agility. But yeah, as always bringing up in chat, we talked about those very cheeky Edward plays because Edward is, well, awesome. We're gonna see a Dark Knight Cecil probably. We haven't seen that Evil Wall. We haven't seen, we have seen Odin, but he can make some really good fun plays with that hide command.
Absolutely, but we see on the other side, there's going to be some more sad bard noises from the commentator, as we have the yeeting of the bard, unfortunately.
Boo! I hope it's a spoon.
Oh, if it is a spoon here, I would be very disappointed. I'd be tempted to reset, to be completely honest.
I mean, it's not. It's spoon adjacent. It is an Eddie check, but that is a required twin harp, and that puts us, once completed, 1 away from go mode. Well, 1 away from crystal mode. We don't have access to Z yet, so this could be interesting.
This is true. We could have, say, something extremely rude down here in Feymarch with no sirens, and the only way of really getting a grind right now is kind of actually through summonable monsters. So the best bet, if, say, we get a very bad situation where we don't find darkness, we find an extremely rude set of bosses here, we may find the desire to find a blue robe in the alt gauntlet down here, so we can do, you'll hear me say it, a clapper grind, because we won't have. Oh, but there's an earth crystal.
That's party rock.
Sorry for party rocking. But yeah, so we're gonna see here more Asura. So yeah, sirens are less and less likely to be found unless Kohrek finds them here in Dwarf. They could be hiding in Tomra as well.
They could be on the moon still.
There
so that is an option. But today, Dathis, I haven't seen you and Moonblaze Wolf, and well, okay, I've seen them in the same restream booth together. But I think
heard us talk at the same time.
You are actually, yes, but you could be throwing your voice. There's definitely some pandering here for sure. We have a vanilla Ashura and then a karate man who's both asleep in bed and fighting us.
Also, can we talk about how that's a canon character or a canon position for a character just in the wrong spot, Yang does become the king of Fabul. But right now he's just in the land of summon monsters.
Yeah, and what's actually interesting is, well, we do have that Paladin Cecil, and that fight is, well, as long as Cecil survives, is free. This is going to be the ouch percent. Cecil just needs to survive, I believe, 2 kicks before he can bonk Karate Man.
Yeah, and look at that. Gets that illusion up, so his covering, not a bad thing right there. You do need to rotate around your slots really quickly. Or everyone can just die to the kick and... Oh, Cecil, please get this turnaround. Oh, that's unfortunate. If he'd actually been sitting on Cecil's turn, it would have been better. Or maybe even slow down the battle speed. Yeah, just like he's doing right now. I'm really excited to see this. And the nice thing is we got some great divergent strats here, too. We've got Kohrek, who is currently up on the overworld checking some things, and we've got Starman, who is going to be taking out and seeing what we've got here. If he can get through this Yang, going to be doing music on Kohrek's side. If we can get to this Yang, and this is Darkness Crystal, that's really big for Starman right now.
Oh, that's massive. Or on Kohrek's side, if Kohrek doing the Twin Harp check finds DKC right here, like this could swing either way so fast.
A very possible way to have this, like, have Kohrek be in such a huge go mode percentage over him would be if this was specifically DKC into Darkness or DKC into Pass, or even DKC, or not even DKC, or just have this be the Pink Tail. But look at Starman putting on a clinic, getting through that. Yang's like, fine, you want something? I will give you my weapon.
I mean, I didn't know the wacky objectives were on where we're kleptomania and everything.
Is that a wacky flag?
Maybe.
Oh, I only just found Sky Warriors today.
Please, for the record, there is no vanilla. Only Zool.
Look, come on.
But in the meantime, oh no, I was going to say we're going to hear some fantastic tunes from DJ Spoonie B, but we will be checking that out momentarily. Meanwhile, we get to have the wonderful... Oh, wait, nope, hold on. All right, here's some tunes.
Are we getting tunes? Yeah, let's go. Okay, yeah, we will let Bard do his lovely thing. We'll be quiet, and Asuka's best boy can play us a tune.
And with that, Kohrek has gotten through a pretty easy fight.
Indeed. And for everyone to know, that is Final Fantasy IX. I believe the Ragtime quiz, or just the Friends little music. Great set of music from a pretty fantastic Final Fantasy, in my opinion. And Kohrek getting the Baron key. So that is another objective down and another chain right there, where Starman hot on his heels. And they're not going to high five because Kohrek's exiting out, but both of them going to get a little stymie right here.
That Baron check could be pretty interesting. I mean, we have 3 bosses. We already know one of them, but that is potentially 2 key items and another character. So, and we have access to the Baron weapon and armor shops now, so you can get some pretty good equipment if they feel like shopping still. With that Cecil kitted out to the nines and a Stardust Rod, I'm not sure what else they're going to want, but the possibility is out there. Like, I don't know, maybe a Curse Ring. We'll see.
Yeah, Curse Ring I think is like high up on their priority list right now. Maybe even another rod for one of these Iridias if they want to go along that lines. It's going to depend a lot on what this other character is. If we say see a Rosa, we may see a yeeting of one of the kids. If this is a Edge, we may probably see a yeeting of the Bard. I know as much as you would like to not see that. And then immediately afterwards, we could see Spoon, and then they get Regret. It's the looting and everything else is really going to depend on what comes up in these next few checks, which is really interesting to see how the landscape changes so quickly.
Agreed. And still, like, we still don't have Darkness, or we don't have the Darkness Crystal, we don't have the Pass. We don't have any way to get to Z yet. So to have to actually have so few checks done and 3 objectives completed, this is a pretty condensed overworld and underworld, for that matter. Wildfire in chat. Eating of the Bard sounds like a Ren Fair event. I miss going to Ren Fairs. They're so fun.
May have to throw that into my next D&D campaign. It sounds like a good thing to do.
Do not eat the Bard!
I've got a Bard I don't mind eating.
Right, and if you're a fan of Monty Python, don't eat the minstrels. They taste bad. Denari chat, I actually, the outfit I have for Ren Fair is a Pirate Musketeer hybrid that I kind of want to drop the money on some really nice boots this year for.
That is the most interesting outfit I think I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, pirate because, well, pirate, and musketeer mostly because of the hat. Pretty much entirely because of the hat.
I do love me a nice hat. I have been a red mage, so I love me some nice hats. Kohrek washing away this antlion, going to get 0 trouble, but we're going to see if we're going to get washed away by some vanilla up here in regular Baron, or if it's going to be something super interesting. Ooh.
Is this the deal?
Wyvern.
Oh, Wyvern would be rude. Yay! It's a Blarg!
Well, reset. Try this again.
And here's what's so interesting about this particular check. Now, a lot of runners don't save between the first and second bosses there, as Kohrek is showing us, because there aren't that many bosses that could just wreck your face right there. Wyvern is a boss that can wreck your face right there. So now Kohrek has to go through the antlion fight and the entire walk and all of that once more. Though this time I think Kohrek would probably take the extra steps and go back and save, or they might just go to Wyvern standard time and call it a day. We'll see.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no reason for like an average runner or an average racer, or even like someone where you're like trying to get as minimum time as possible. You look and go, you know, there's next to no chance that there's going to be a Wyvern here. I know he's out in the wild and there's only 2 sparkles left, but you kind of look and go, nah, that chance isn't going to really happen. And then when it happens, you just go, I hate everything. This is suffering.
It's like, this is a thing. That's great. Shout out to the wonderful restreamer Moonblaze Wolf for putting that torture in there. I approve.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really nice when you see things like that. Also, huge shout outs to Scythe Marshall for doing the tracking, lighting up the pretty numbers and buttons just so we can keep track and know exactly where things are.
Listen, Joe, follow them. Follow our runners, Kohrek and Starman. They're putting on a great show. Follow our restreamer, our tracker, Moonblaze Wolf and Scythe Marshall accordingly, or respectively. And then, of course, follow our wonderful Grandmaster Vanilla himself, Dathis. I know Dathis and I, we get to have fun and just chit-chat and talk about things like raiding that treasury on Starman's side. But yeah, the behind-the-scenes crew, they're the ones that are making everything look, sound amazing.
Absolutely. And for Oscar424, give her a follow as well. She's very fantastic runner, very much proponent of our Spoony Bard here, and loves memes as much as I do. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. But speaking of memes and speaking of rating, that treasury, fairly
That was
solid, really.
power rush out of 10. That was, wow. Usually when you see treasuries that good, you see that for characters not in your party. No, there are characters in our party that can use that equipment, for sure. Like Edward. But still, that's... wow.
The only disappointing thing about that treasury, and I say disappointing with quotations there, is that we've seen the shop in Kokol, and I think both runners actually picked up a power shirt from there that they bought. So, like I said, disappointing with a quotation, but still very good. Additionally, we have Kohrek getting through that set. There's a
mop percent is complete at 42 minutes and 23 seconds. That one of those really is just gonna go by.
No, we have an upgrade from one old man to another old man.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. Discount Fu has gone away.
And I don't really disagree with that. If you're going to be taking out one of the other characters, the other one I think would be a replacement would have been actually that Sid, so that you can start working on more of the reflex strats. We don't have any agility upgrade growth from that Fusoya, so he could be a very good anchor. So he is very possible to have been like that kind of cornerstone, but we just haven't found the cursed ring. But we have found our D-Lunars here. Because the only place that they can be, we also found every one of our lunar sparkles here on Earth.
And Kohrek has shown us a rat tail, so that is potentially another key item. I'm always a fan of the really cheeky turning in the rat tail to get the pink tail. I just find that hilarious because it can be any key item, or it can just be like a weapon or something. And the reason I always like seeing the pink tail right there is a lot of runners will try to one-stop shop turning in the tail. So they want to get the rat tail and the pink tail at the same time. Well, if the pink tail's behind the rat tail, they're going to be holding their breath for a while, unless they make that rat tail check.
Absolutely, and I also really enjoy the commentary behind it of the sort of like, hey, look, I only want to talk to you if you have tails for me. Oh, here's a rat tail. Here's another tail for you. You have the pink tail. Give me the pink tail. You just gave this to me. Why do you? Oh, all right, here, thanks. I'll take your weapon.
Right. Oh, so Baron in. Turning out. This is a weird turn in this canon. I didn't see this in the vanilla version of the game. We have a Dark Knight Cecil, a required Dark Knight Cecil.
Required speedy Dark Knight Cecil.
Yeah. That is a brutal spot to find him. That being said, getting that Fu out of the Baron throne room pretty much solidified Kohrek completing this fight. So that's actually really cool to see. And what's even cooler, do you know what this means, Dathis?
It means that we have Kohrek in go mode. Sorry, in the objective done mode. Yeah. The really spicy thing here, this could be, again, Pass or Darkness. So depending on what is specifically here and what is up in the Earth Crystal, we have some spicy things.
That is the dark. It is a double crystal Baron for Kohrek. That is bonkers.
All right, yeah. Baron, super hard required. Oh man, Moon has nothing. We have a country for old men going up on top of Zot, though. So it's a Yang and a Tella here. So this is... Oh, no, Yang and...
Yes, that's a second Cecil.
Oh, no, that's even better.
Wow. That is... Oh. So this is an interesting situation for Starman, because hopefully Starman does make that Baron check soon, because he's going to have potentially a double Excal Cecil team with a Fu if he goes to Baron. That is wow. So that I don't know what to do right now. That'd be ugh.
The big thing here is you're really looking for now sirens, and you're looking for ways to make money for those sirens, because this is just like, this is your team, this is what's happening. We have to get that going there. The thing is, Kohrek, I don't think, has found the sirens yet. They are, or I believe he is the one who found them. They are sitting in
Dwarf.
the castle. Yeah, a couple of hourglasses and buck. Oh, he's just going to go the really cheap way of doing it. Looks like we're going to have ourselves some King Ryu grind.
Ooh. It's always fun to see what type of grinds people do, especially when there's no sirens, because there's a lot of different options that people might not necessarily know. I mean, we've things like the clapper grind you mentioned. I like seeing the door grind in sealed cave if you have the Luca key. I've seen runners in this tournament go to the moon and grind trap chests, like LST, lunar subterranean trap chests, because they didn't have sirens. So, oh, that's an interesting rat tail turn in.
So here's the thing. If Kohrek has forgotten about the free chest in Feymarch, and I mean, with getting go mode and like having everything else you need, I'm not surprised, and I can 100% see him like kind of forget about it. If he doesn't remember about that free chest in the Feymarch, which it looks like he may be going to now, yeah, this is going to be his 10th key item for grind time. Because right now he's sitting at that awkward 9 key items. So where's he going? Yeah, he remembers. All good. So at least he's got that. And we're going to see what Starman gets as a bonus reward outside of this.
That's a dangerous key item with the tower key.
Ooh, the rabbit holes continue.
Starman is hopefully, okay, good. The nice thing about doing the Earth Crystal check in Troya is that it drops you off at Baron. So if you have the Baron key, logistically, unless of course you're in Go mode or Crystal mode, logistically it makes sense that you go to Baron. It's the next thing up there. And as we all know, Baron's going to pay off in dividends, especially if Starman checks the Odin Throne. That's the key, though. Has to check the Odin Throne, because that is the Darkness Crystal, that is the Dark Knight Cecil. And also the Crystal for him.
Exactly. This is where we start seeing it's like how we need to know where things are going to go from here. And this is just like, it's just so tricky because we know and we can oversee everything. Like, oh, if you go here and here and here and you're fine. But as a runner in the moment, you're like, where do I go and how do I do this? And what is going to be my best options of doing what? It's so hard to say in the moment because like you can also say like, oh well, my logic says this, but there's always that runner's intuition gut be like, this sounds like a safer play right now. I've done that and it's paid off, and I've done that and it's also been absolutely atrocious. But Starman looks like he's going to go the right way, and we also see that he did save. He's not going to be saving after this this fight with the antlion most likely, but we're going to get the chance of the save and not have to do a very long walk. So it's going to save him about a minute or so from what Kohrek's time was here.
Right, and I mean, it's just to have Crystal mode and Z access at 40 some minutes is, for any runner, new experience or anywhere between, is terrifying. Is completely bloody terrifying. So yeah, here's where we get to find out just how focused Kohrek can stay to get what he needs and try not. Is he gonna safely grind? Is he gonna try to cut some corners with levels? I mean, I'm curious to see what he's going to do. And yep, it does look like a potential bang zoom to the moon for him.
An answer to a question in chat from Antidale: Kohrek have RA1 Fu, or is this anchoring non-optimal? He actually has Sid as his anchor right now. So what we have here is we have Fu able to be uncursed doing his free Fu things. So it's so he's very solid in just like what he's got here. He's kind of kept Sid down for the majority of it, but I am really curious to see where he's going to be going for these levels. But Starman actually doesn't even take the white, gets that Star Veil up very, very clean.
Well played. And if there's one particular character that you kind of want to get levels on, especially if you want to get her to nuke, it is that Rydia. That being said, Starman's getting the Fu news with that mop, and it's going to be, yep, we are upgrading our old man to a better old man. Now the question is, again, does Starman check Odin Throne? That is going to be the key. That's going to be the big play of the seed right now.
Not even that. The thing is I don't think we've seen a cursed ring. So
Not.
the big problem there is like, yeah, you've got your Fu as an upgrade, and he's a great anchor, but at 20 agility, unless you've got your characters rocking, I believe it's 45 or 48, he's not RA1. So until we see where this Nuke kid is, who's going to be a new anchor for possibly Starman, we kind of have a suboptimal anchor on his side. He's got so much power, but his agility is going to be in an awkward-ish spot by comparison.
Yeah, and Kohrek has chosen, words are hard today, chosen to say no to the Lunar Quack Kid and is just going to be working with what he has.
Indeed, and it looks like Kohrek is going in. I'm probably going to be doing the lunar grind, the King Ryu grind deeper in on the lunar subterrane because he didn't grab mute bells, so is not going to be grabbing the warlocks, which is a more common grind we've seen lately, especially considering we also saw a mute knife in that treasury. Though he has not checked that.
And I'm very much getting Simpsoned in chat right now. I should choose you.
You do?
No.
Wow.
But Starman has thankfully chosen to head back into Barry. If
LF new co-commentator.
I'm used to people saying that about me, so it's okay. But Starman has made the right play to, well, choose the Baron throne or the Odin throne spot to see the good and terrifying news at the same time.
Absolutely. And with this Fu in the middle, we're going to get a good shot at possibly getting this cure out. He may have to rearrange his team and come back in. Oh no, he does have Fu at the top. Okay, so yeah, we're going to get the cure 4 out. He's going to see just how much damage that does. Oh, he doesn't care about anybody else's XP. He's just like, no, Fu, you get to stand up, and that's a thing.
It's like, yeah, I just want to get... I see who this is. I see what I need. I'm going to just complete this. Now, what's interesting is some DKC fights, depending on how fast you are, you can actually get a life potion or a life spell off on one of your other characters to get them XP too. This spot is just so heckin' fast that Starman's like, nah, not gonna waste it. We're good.
Answer a question from our lovely tracker Scythe Marshal. If you're never going to take the character, why would you dive LSD for Gold Dragons? Because it's on the way to Zeromus. So you got the character. Maybe it's something you take for, say, like another Fu, and you're going to be going down that path as it is. It's kind of a nice little like pathing direction on that way. Yes, he's got the pass as well, but you're going to want to do the grind on your way a little bit easier. I think it's also a choice there. You could just be like, he's committing this path. I don't know the exact timings though.
It is a very frequently heard debate by people significantly smarter and better at this game than I of if you have to pass, what's faster? Pass versus walking down to Z. To answer in chat from Franco, Origin, yes, this is Free Enterprise, the Final Fantasy IV randomizer, and for the record, both Kohrek and Starman words are hard again. They have the crystal, which is the key item that you need to defeat Zeromus, and they have access to that fight via the Darkness Crystal on Starman's side, and either the Darkness Crystal or the pass on Kohrek's side. So, short story long, yeah, it's a randomizer. Hi.
I was here for that explanation. It's always nice to see new people stopping by the different streams and learning about what this is randomizer, what it's about, and just seeing the different ways we go about this. And this is like some of our more advanced flags too. If you go to some of the websites, you can make this as easy as hard as you want. Do you want to have 4 Cecils and Rosa with all crystal swords and doing things? Absolutely, you can make that happen. Do you want to have it so that you're only using starting equipment and suffering through Zeromus with like bare minimum levels? If you like that sort of suffering, we do that too, and everything in between. So that's the really nice thing about the randomizer that has been put forth by Boardface and a whole slew of other people keeping this going. It's as customizable and doable as you want. If you would like to play pure vanilla key items, you can do that and appease my senses.
And to answer a question chat from Fidel, I think up until Starman just found those sirens, I wouldn't be surprised either way if they fell behind or not. These two runners, I mean, they're both 3-0, and they're both fantastic. So I could see it going either way. But I definitely would, if you're interested, check out those links, join the Discord. Some of us don't bite. Most of us don't. But there's a great group of people that are super smart about this game and are always willing to help. Or there's a group of us that pretty much meme. Um, that's kind of what we're known for. And you're listening to two of them right now. Whether it's embracing your inner vanilla or embracing the cult of the spoon, there's something for everybody in this little happy randomizer family.
Absolutely. And the nice thing too is that everybody's here to help out one another. We share inventory, we share strategies. We're here very welcoming. And the nice thing is as well, those of us in the Restream team, as we have made very big comments of, we are in fact memers and jokers first, and then Restreamers, commentators, and everything after that. We really enjoy just like the community and fostering as much as we possibly can. And again, it's also to expand the knowledge. And speaking of expanding, Kohrek is expanding his grind. Instead of going for just the B-Lunars, just for the King Ryus, he's going and getting multiple life glitches off on these warlocks. Very heads up.
And the thing about the Restream team is, say you don't want to, you might not necessarily want to race, you just want to play for fun, but you want to find some way to help out. Hey, guess what? We love to have you on the Restream team. I know Dathis is a fantastic runner of free enterprise and can enter some races and hold his own. I'm terrible, but I like helping out a lot. So yeah, we take everybody. If you want to help out, we have a place for you. We need so many people, usually at least 4, to keep these restreams going. We have positions for tracking. We have positions for restreaming if you like doing like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, or if you just want to talk about the game, you can be a commentator. We love having people, and we will teach you and show you everything that you need to know and want to know, and we'll help you out mid race too. Like we are not afraid to do that as well.
Absolutely, and that's a really nice thing. And when you're talking about needing 4 people, sometimes we get a little bit more depending on what kind of races we do, because there's all different things. The really sad thing is that they used to let us go more skeleton crew, and then PK4787 and I did that once, and I've never seen it happen again. I'm pretty sure I got buried under a pile of newspapers immediately after that, but that's just how things go. But Kohrek is done with his life glitches, just cast that last siren, mutes everything, and is stoning it and actually exiting, so going to be taking the pass route.
Oh, interesting. And yeah, to answer finally in chat, with this flag set, the fastest time is currently a 1:04. On average, you'll be seeing around with these runners anywhere from, I'd say, 1:15 to 1:35. There have been, I think, a couple that have gone close to 3 hours, if not slightly above 3 hours. I mean, these, depending on where the bosses are, where the key items are, there is such wild variance in what you see. But I'm going to preempt chat and beat them to the gun. So, Dathis, our favorite little Titan person, we're getting close to the boss fight, and I'm starting to see a lot of people getting bored with us talking. Those are some tired flags in chat.
Guys, it's early in the afternoon. Why? Oh, infinite warlock wisdom. Why are they asking about a nap at 3 in the afternoon Eastern?
Because it is in fact not a nap. We can randomize all the boss locations except one. We have to keep Z where he is. Z is happy in the void, and we don't want to take away his happiness before we kill him. So what we can do is change what Z looks like. There are 526, specifically 526, different things that Zeromus can look like once we use the crystal on him. But there's only one way we can find that out, and we have to ask a very specific question, and if we don't, the seed is not validated and it cannot be beaten. Dathis, what is that question?
Whose butt are we going to be kicking this afternoon?
Or for Ungfreak in Sweden this evening. It is 9:16 p.m. there.
This is true. It depends on what time of day you're at. Whose butt is going to be destroyed on this day?
Or if we have our New Zealand Australian friends tomorrow, because they are time travelers. No, we do not eat Edward, Mr. Bus Driver. Edward is a special boy that we do not.
No, that's actually a very valid question. As a Titan, I can eat him pretty far.
No, I will Nova Bomb you out of existence, Bubble Boy.
Get through the bubble.
Nova Bomb you out of existence, Bubble Boy.
But yes, Skull Kitty, our wonderful art dev wizard magic doer of different sprites, has put a fair amount of them in the pool. We also have a few done by Bored Eye, the creator of the randomizer as well. And we're going to see... Oh, Pink... We were talking about this earlier. We were actually talking about fighting pink pups for a grind in the further on. I have summoned Pink Mist. I am so here. Where is Dravenheart too? Summon them in here.
It's so big. How big of adamant are? Oh, is that? Does that mean we get an adamant armor for beating Z?
Absolutely. See, it's 100% drop rate from Pinkmas. You just have to make sure that you can get through that drop really quickly. Because if you don't hit the button at the exact frame perfectness, then unfortunately...
Did you just say frame perfectness?
Frame perfectness, but you know...
No. Headcanon confirmed perfectness.
I mean, if Perfect Cell is in the pool, in theory, perfectness does exist.
I am getting so concerned with how it is staring at the team.
No, I'm here for the stare. The real question is that from actual Final Fantasy IV from this version? That looks like it's actually closer to the
it's just embiggened. Oh, and our captain of the Pink Puffs, Dravenheart, is able to see this. We got a Pink Miss!
I think this is actually the first time I have seen Pinkness myself, so I'm super here for this though. But we see Kohrek actually making very great use out of every single one of the items that he's got. He's got Asura rolling that life, which is kind of good, but kind of
it's kind of bad. Oh my god!
He's the only real healer outside of Foo's. These Asura casts.
Oh my gosh, this is. That being said, yeah, this team is. It's Fu. Cecil. Actually, is Cecil acting effectively as a chemist right now? Because that is cheeky, and I'm here for it.
Fu is Sid is kind of like a chemist. They didn't really revive him for it, but Cecil, yeah, I think Cecil is kind of chemisting right here because this is just like, but rolling double life rolls, man, I've seen this happen before, and it's never happy. Oh man, poor Asura is just kind of like whatever. Cecil's like, let everybody go.
So Cecil, yeah, it's like, hey, you guys.
Once had friends.
Man. Though, to be honest, this is a very seeing, because we could see both screens here. This is okay. Now with Fu back, that was probably very terrifying for Kohrek, because with Starman just about to enter the Z fight, this could have swung wildly in the opposite direction.
Absolutely, and the thing is so we may see a bit of a different strat from Starman here. He could be doing double Zerk and then still relying heavily on that Rydia for the healing, and with Fu's backing up, it's a more traditional, a little bit better of a fight in some aspect because it's less RNG dependent. However, Kohrek's team still has the ability to get through this with counter nukes and kind of get through fast of this. That is a very good set of rolls in that Rydia. No.
Double pink.
This is almost nightmare fuel. I'm not kidding here.
Can we get an emoji of just those eyes, please?
Be the new eyes. We do have guiding ways or naming ways said here, but these eyes need to be the new emoji. Oh man, this is, oh,
Scala, based Scala, we love you. Oh my gosh. But
what do you do? But yeah, so we see Kohrek is actually recovering very nicely. Asura actually playing nicely, getting that cure off, which goes through wall, which is the best part here.
That was I just heard a flash or crack. I heard a flash and I
Ooh,
saw
there's the
a
crack bang. Kohrek getting through it.
Ooh.
This is what happens when you go through reflex strats. You don't have to go through the entirety of the HP pool that Starman is maybe going through if he goes with the hybrid strats, which is what he is. But yeah, we have a good run. GG's out in chat for Kohrek. Official time 106.24, and we are in fact joined by our first place winner, going 4-0, currently lossless. GG's Kohrek.
Thank you.
So, how does it feel since you have gone 4-0? You have officially punched your ticket to the bracket stage.
Wow, I mean, I haven't been as active in Free Enterprise as I was last spring, so I definitely, I still felt I had a little bit in me, but I didn't expect to go 4-0 at this point. So it feels really good. It's been great competition, especially all this great competition I've gone through. I feel really lucky to be here and to qualify for the brackets already.
Yeah, and just looking at the people that you've defeated to get to this stage, I mean, those are very well-known runners that they've been around, they've been putting in their work. So it's, I mean, whether or not you feel you've been doing as much, I mean, you are a fantastic runner of this game, and clearly you had someplace to be. An hour and 6 minutes? Heck, did you get whiplash from going that fast?
Well, I was getting a little bit of whiplash, and then Ashura decided to make me slow down a lot. That was very scary, getting double life. About 11% to kill the run, but I luckily was able to recover that. But that was a little sketch there for a second.
100%, but you've recovered extremely well. You had nothing but your Cecil left, managed to get the foo up, get the heals, and just keep on trucking, as opposed to resetting, which might have taken you a little bit more time to get back in there, but very impressive. So let's go to the very start of the seed. You get, you have your Sid, you've got your Tella, and you've got a Leviathan start. What's your current wish list, and where's your current thought process of what do I want to do in which order?
So with these flags, having Sid at the start is kind of free in a way. Like, a Dwarf Axe Sid is not like the most powerful character, but he can get you through the overworld, maybe not as fast as you would like, but he can get it done, right? So it's not like you have to like search for shops or anything. You're pretty good to go. So obviously with Leviathan, you're like, okay, if Rydia shows up, we'll definitely make use of that, but she's never going to show up, so it's but she did. So once she showed up, it was all right. We're just going to plow through this, and we got Cecil there and Baron, and we immediately got the Adamant and Legend Sword. So it's like, okay.
I did want to butt in just really quickly to say, GG's to Starman. He just got his flash, crack, and pop at 1 hour and 9 minutes 30 seconds. So both of you did. It just blazed through this seed, which is aptly fitting since Moonblaze Wolf did run it, or did roll it for you. I mean,
let's get to about like the early-ish parts of the seed. You're currently getting, you've got your Cecil that you see there, and you're going into Baron Inn, and you see Demas and Cecil kind of like side by side. Dark Knight Cecil still at this point. How are you feeling about doing that check, and what drove you more to Baron Inn versus doing, say, the Mount Ordeals first to get Tella more of those utility spells?
I figured there was a good chance that Baron Inn shouldn't be an issue at that point, right? I had enough MP to cast Leviathan twice, and I had a Sid that had a Poison Axe, I believe, at that point. So those two can certainly take on Baron Inn in most situations. And if I pick up a character there, that could potentially make, I could pick up a key item or a character that could better inform my decisions going forward. Once I got Cecil and basically had an Excal in hand, it's like, okay, well, we're definitely going to go to Ordeals now. But a lot of times when I run randomizers, I try to get more information first before I make tough decisions, and that's kind of why I went to Baron in, because it's really tough to skip Baron in. It's not as tough to skip Ordeals sometimes. Even with that early Tella, you can kick him out of the party if you find something better.
Agreed. Now, I have to ask the question, since again you are 4-0. Looking at your potential opponents for next week, we've already got Dia, a Stone Dingley, Dragus, Dusty, and PK. Who do you want to take on next week? So throw down the gauntlet. Let's go.
Oh man, I have trouble throwing down the gauntlet, but I will look forward to any matchup I get. I mean, Dia and PK, they've been around for well over a year. Both I'm familiar with from my last tournament run last spring in the football gauntlet. So it's and newer runners that are tearing up the races, and I'm just excited. It'll be fun, and no expectations, just to have fun. That's the only expectation.
Speaking of zero expectations and fun in the same time, we get to Zeromus, and you see that pink mist there. I have never seen it before. You will love listening to us just killing ourselves over this. What was your, you see that pink mist? What did it kind of distract you, catch you off your game a little bit, or have you ever seen that sprite before?
I was trying to think, but I was honestly, so I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I gotta look away because this is too disturbing. Into the sprite during the fight.
And I will say that we had asked Scala, the wonderful Night Mom herself, Scala Kitty, while that was going on, to get an emote or an emoji with the eyes. And for those that are in the Free Enterprise Discord, you might want to check the emojis, because our wonderful Night Mom has delivered.
Look, Scala, you did a fantastic job with it, because that's how distracting it is. It's that good. It's not scary. It's just one of those what the heck? It just, the actual Zeromus is less scary than that.
But yeah, any other thoughts? It was a 2 minutes shy of the fastest time for these Swiss flags. So any thoughts or comments about the seeds?
No, I think I've said everything I needed to say, except just thank you guys so much for the commentary and the restream. It really means a lot to the community, so thank you for volunteering. And thanks to everybody out there and also thanks Starman. It was a great race.
GG's, and way to put on a clinic, Kohrek. That was fantastic to watch. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Again, that was Kohrek, our winner of today's race, 4-0, official time 106.24. GG's out in chat again for him, and we are in fact now joined by Starman. Starman, GG's on your second place. Very close finish, though.
Yeah, from what I understand, the difference was all of Zot.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Still, I mean, both of you were just blazing through that sea. That was, I'm pretty much in awe over here. That was fantastic to watch both of you run through that.
Absolutely hard agree. So the one part of point of contention that you actually gained a fair bit of ground on him was that when you went through Baron Castle, you did that save inside Watery Pass, which would have saved you if you had taken the wipe to not the boss following, but the one preceding that, which was that Wyvern. You actually got your Starveil off before getting nuked down. So you see that Wyvern, and how happy were you to just get that Starveil up? Or what did you say when you saw this Lunar Sparkle?
I mean, since I lived on Lunar Sparkle, I knew it was Wyvern, so I just went, yep. Good thing I'm still on Battle Speed 3, which was a mistake, but I'll take it.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the lower battle speed. I didn't see that. That actually is such a good thing. Now, I've seen a couple of people in the community talk about setting yourself permanently on battle speed 3. Is that something you do, or is it just you set yourself there and just never change back?
I just set myself there for that Yang fight, because I can do this if it's basically free if I get through here and something good. Hey, it wasn't, but then I forgot to set my battle speed back that entire time for every check after that.
And the thing is, though, it did actually get you a little bit more time on Kohrek, because Kohrek wiped to Wyvern and had to do both the Antlion and the Wyvern fights again because of it. So, although you forgot, it definitely worked out in your favor that time. But with Baron, you go down to the Odin Throne, you see Dark Knight Cecil, you get the Darkness Crystal, and you haven't found Sirens yet. What are your thoughts?
Oh, can you repeat the question?
Oh, basically, when you got your crystal mode, or actually crystal mode and go mode with the Odin spot with Dark Knight Cecil, and then of course it giving you the Darkness Crystal. I don't believe you had found Sirens yet. So, what are your thoughts in terms of, okay, how do I grind? What do I do?
My main thought was I was thinking about checking the Dwarf Castle shop on my way out, and I completely forgot. So I'm like, I should have done that. And completely forgot. I did at least remember defense swords were at Kokol's shop, because I didn't actually want to go into Zeramus for like a dinky elven bow.
Fair.
So to piggyback off of the Baron Throne position, so you finish up Zot, you get yourself a tower key, you go and do Baron proper. What changed you from, instead of going from the Odin Throne to do that, as opposed to maybe like falling down the rabbit hole of what that tower key, the full tower for 2 checks versus 1 location?
The cost I gain in the airship and getting back down.
I like it.
So you also kept the other Cecil versus going more for a reflect, like a traditional more reflect strats, considering the squad that you had access to. What was the reasoning behind the second Cecil versus the second Rydia?
Entirely because I didn't want to get 2 Rydias to nuke.
I definitely, as a member of team, hit things with big armor and big weapons, I can understand that. And with no slingshots, I can doubly understand that. But otherwise, you are 3-1, and there are real talk some terrifying names just in all of the win-loss brackets right now. So what are your thoughts for next week? Are you gonna change up how you've been practicing? Are you pretty confident that you'll be able to pull off next win?
Honestly, I'm pretty confident. It'll be fine.
I love that nonchalant, yeah, I'm good. I'm a fan. Because, yeah, putting in that type of time, yeah, it's, like I told Kohrek, I'll tell you, you both put on a clinic today. That was fantastic to watch. Any last thoughts about the seed or anything moving forward?
Nope.
All right, Starman, again, thank you very much for being in the tournament and putting on a very well-run seed, for doing some extra checks, blazing through it really quickly. 1 hour, 9 minutes, 30 seconds. Not really a slow time to be bursting through the seed the way you did. Very well done, and GG's.
GG's. But yeah, with that, I guess people had places to be. I was getting ready to annoy you for another hour or so. Dalthus?
I know, right? I had no plans. I've got nothing going on till later on tonight. I was excited to be here for like a nice slog 2-3 hour race. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another couple of hours for the next official race starting. Rex Roll and Pankraz starting at 6 o'clock on our home channel of Free Enterprise. We also have Gambit versus iCure at Randomania 3 starting a little after that. And then Martin Broadcloak and Groundflare, again, back over on Free Enterprise at 10 o'clock. But for now, what we're going to do is we're done here. We're going to be sending you over to one of our other lovely community members, Possum Morpheus. They're in the middle of actually doing one of the asyncs. Not sure which one specifically, so if you don't want to be spoiled, don't tag along with the raid. But regardless, go send a whole lot of love to another one of our lovely community racers and community members.
And it looks like they're doing the async that's titled WM6RJ. So if that's the one you'll be racing, now's the time to bail, just so you don't get things spoiled. And of course, again, don't spoil this race. You spoil, you get the bonk, or you get the evil pink puff glare, because that's terrifying. But until later on, have fun, enjoy watching Possum, and we will see you next time. On behalf of the wonderful Restreamer Moonblaze Wolf, the fantastic tracker Scythe Marshall, and the amazing Vanilla Titan himself, Dathis, I'm Oscar424. Bye!